Welcome back. We are going to go from all natural food right here locally in Park City to continuing that healthy motivation. We have some ideas for you on how you can navigate your health and home in 2021. Let's take a look.
Research shows how life at home has changed during 2020. In fact, experts predict some changes are here to stay. Here to tell us more is happiness expert Meike Wiking, best-selling author of The Little Book of Hygge. Thanks so much, Meik, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, how important is the home to people's overall happiness?
Well, it's actually tremendously important. We could see already before the pandemic that 15% of our overall happiness is connected with our homes. And I think our homes have become even more important because of the global pandemic. We're spending more time indoors. We've also seen there's a lot of things globally that we cannot control in a global pandemic, but we are able to control our own home. And people have found new ways of harvesting happiness indoors these months.
What changes have people made in their homes this year and in their lives? And do you think these will change and stay? Do you think these changes will stay?
I hope they will stay. So there's a really new, interesting study out by the Whirlpool Corporation looking at how life at home has changed. And the study shows that 12% of people have become better at sharing the workload at home. Very good for happiness. We see that more people, 16%, have taken up a new hobby. Very good for happiness, lifelong learning. We see that 14% of Americans say that they are spending more time in the kitchen. Now, I'm one of those 14%, so that made me quite happy. I've always enjoyed cooking. It's one of the ways I can become creative. It's a way for me to put a nice meal on the table for my loved ones. And a lot of Americans have done the same this year. So hopefully that is also something we'll take forward with us into hopefully a happy 2021.
And how can people maintain the positive habits that were created in 2020?
I think, first of all, understanding what actually brought us happiness in 2020. We spent more time with our loved ones. Maybe we spent more time cooking. Maybe we took up a new hobby, and identifying those sources for happiness and making sure we plan it and schedule for it in 2021. And we've also created a whole hub for inspiration in terms of how to improve life at home, called improvinglifeathome.com, where people can head over to look for tips and tools for happiness. There's recipes. My favorite one is the tarte tatin, but also ideas on how to declutter your home to make room for happiness. So take a deep dive there. Also, if you want to find out more about the study from the Whirlpool Corporation, that's where to go.
And do you have any additional tips for individuals and families to stay happy in their homes? I know you mentioned you have a lot of resources online, but anything that you can tell us about right now?
Well, earlier you mentioned Hygge. As you mentioned, I wrote the little book of Hygge, and there's a lot of focus in that book around the importance of creating a nice, warm, soft atmosphere at home. And it might be little things like lighting a candle for your family dinner. We see examples of that being one way to make family dinners last longer, and even put teenagers in a storytelling mood. So plenty of tips to harvest there.
And we've been talking about this survey. Did any of the findings from the research surprise you?
Yes, I was happy and surprised to see that Americans have been looking for the silver lining in the past year and found it. 27%, according to the study, said that they have experienced unexpected positive outcomes of the situation in the past year. So I was really encouraged to see that sense of optimism and silver lining among Americans.
That is really good to hear. So one more time, where can we get more information and tips?
So the Inspiration Hub is called improvinglifeathome.com.
Well, thank you so much, happiness expert Meike Wiking, for joining us here today on Park City Television and helping us feel our best in our homes.